Yo, are you going to Coachella?
No.
You should, because I'll be there.
I've actually never been to Coachella before.
You've never been to Coachella?
Have you?
Yeah, it's a good time, man. I've been a handful of times.
I've been to Austin City Limits and Bonnaroo and another one, but never Coachella.
Coachella's a fun time.
Why?
Well, it's just so much music. And if you like music, then it's a good time, you know? And also, like, it's a good vibe. It is, you know, of course it's such a commercial thing now. And yeah, you have your like influencers that are there just to take pictures, but it's not anything that takes away from the experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still a good time. Everyone's there to have a good time, whether you're on drugs or not. Like, it's just cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, food's expensive, and yeah, it's a thing now. Coachella, it's like a whole.
It's definitely,
you know,
a scene.
It's a scene. It's its whole like commercialized entity. But it's great, especially if you enjoy the headliner. I've gone a few times where I really like I was excited to watch.
Who's the headliner this year for the weekend you're going?
A few. There's Gaga. Poppin', who's great live. Green Day. First album I ever bought for myself was a Green Day album.
American Idiot?
Dookie, actually. I'm talking about back
Even
when I was...
before?
Yeah, I'm talking about this is like third grade, fourth grade shit.
Whoa.
Yeah, or maybe, I don't know what grade I was in, but yeah, young boy, Dookie, because Basket Case was like my shit. I think it was probably fourth grade, because that's when I started getting into music, you know. And so I'll hype for Green Day, hype for Gaga. I think Missy Elliott is up the same night as Gaga, I think, which is gonna be fire.
Cool.
And Post Malone is the Sunday night. I am a Post Malone fan, but I think I'll be gone before. Like, I'm not like, you know, super Posty fan. I do enjoy him, but I'm out. I'll be out on Sunday. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Cool.
I'm there to do some like some content for bulldog noodles, or else I would have just stayed at home. It's like, now that, you know, I'm a fucking grown man with kids and shit, I don't go out of my way to go to festivals. But you know, if it's work.
I mean, it's the energy that you have to have for a festival. Not even being there for the music and all the people, but it's like the parking and the walking and the getting there and the waiting and it's just like a lot.
Yeah.
I like to be inside, which we know.
I know.
And that is outside.
I agree. And I fucked up the first few times I went, because I would go, I'm like, I'm ready to watch people perform all day. And then you go for the first few performances at like 11 a.m. where no one's there. And then by 3 p.m. you're exhausted. And then you go home before the headliners anyways, because I was so tired. You know what I'm saying? So I know now I shouldn't go until later, and I know how shit works. So I'm excited to go do a little work and have a little fun, you know?
Have a little fun. Here's a bad idea that they would not want, but I would like, is I think it would be cool to have, because all of the stages are outside. I understand it's a festival ground.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great.
What if there were secret shows?
Okay.
Oh my God. Have you ever heard of like geocaching before?
No.
I think it's geocaching. It's like people give you like coordinates, and then you go. It's like for game nerds.
Interesting.
And you go in real life to find these treats that people leave, and then it's like an escape room, but in real life.
Oh, like Pokemon Go.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So it would be really cool if they had like secret shows. And they don't have to be secret. Maybe you just have to, like, I don't know. I think there doesn't need to be a game element. Let's keep it simple. Just have indoor venues is, I think, what I'm really getting to.
So Coachella does have little indoor. They'll have like a Heineken room or some shit where a DJ is playing.
Oh, great. See, I would be there.
Yeah.
I mean, even if fucking Chapel, I mean, I would probably be like, what's up for Chapel? But like, it would take a really huge artist that I really love to like, I would be standing outside for them.
Batoon, I'll be honest here. I'm going to be in the VIP area.
Duh.
I'm not going to be down there rubbing arms with people. Ugh. Sweaty arms? No, thank you, brother.
Yeah, I feel that.
Have my little drink and be in the little VIP area.
Okay, well, that sounds lit. If you ever have a +1 for one day, let me know.
Yeah, shit, man. I'm taking Rick.
Never mind.
Because I did have a +1.
That's great.
But I was like, I'll take Rick. But shit,
That's great.
Had I known we could have made content, Next
Look
time.
at that.
Next time, man. But yeah,
Look at that.
Coachella next week. I'll be there, brother. So if y'all are, well, this is gonna come out after that, but should be a good time.
Cool.
Who would you like really look forward to? Who would you like buy some tickets to go see? Who are you excited for musically?
I would fly
Mm-hmm.
to see Girl Talk. Do you know of Girl Talk?
What that?
You might like it.
What's that?
Girl Talk is a mashup DJ and
Okay.
used to put together songs that shouldn't go together. They would put like Wait Till You See My Dick and Bittersweet Symphony.
Okay.
They would just like mash up songs that had no reason going together,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it just
yeah.
scratched the best part of my brain.
I love that,
And
yeah.
it's so great for ADHD people because he plays a song, he plays two songs at one time for
Yeah.
like 15 seconds, and then it's like now it's in Missy Elliott and Eminem. Like
Okay.
it's just like, what is happening here? Like
I'm subscribed to some mashup people on YouTube.
I would love to know
What?
who they are, and like maybe I would like them.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'll send you some shit because I think something came across just my algorithm one day, and I'm like, this is a fire mix. And this guy who I follow specifically, he'll throw shit together. I'm like, oh, where did that come from? But it works. You know what I'm saying?
So these are DJs.
Yeah. It's like a DJ that he will take vocals from this song and throw it over an instrumental from this song, and it works. You know, shit you would never expect. I think his most poppin' one is like it's an Ariana, like that has the most views for him is an Ariana Grande song over like an old Nelly.
Sick.
It sounds good though. I forget which one it is, but yeah.
I love that.
I'll send you some tings.
I love when people do that. What music, like in a live event, what music are you so down for? Like if we had a live show
Yeah.
/win,
Yeah.
I want it to be a variety show.
Yeah.
There
yeah.
will be talking, sure. But maybe like we could be hosting the variety event.
Oh, I'm
so it's
down.
like we do like interim bits
Yeah.
and like maybe answer questions, but then in between people's acts.
Oh,
so
yeah.
my question is, if we had a live show, what type of music element would you be like, that is sick?
As part of the performance.
Yeah. And maybe at the very end we perform.
Oh, where?
So it's like we have like people that we think are really talented, and then we get them to be like, oh, we talk a little bit. Here's this person we found because we like this. Check it out. And then everybody vibes to that performance. Then we come back out, answer a question, crowd work. Another person comes out. You know what I mean?
I think you know what I always like watching, and Claire C used to do something similar. If you know Claire C?
That sounds familiar.
YouTube Asian YouTube singer girl, and whenever we would do these college shows together, she would do this shit was really cool where she has one of those shits where she plays a thing, loops it,
Yes.
plays a thing, and then plays more and then loops, and she's like puts the whole shit together just there, one girl act, and I think those are really fun to watch.
Yes.
I love shit like that if we're talking about like variety show vibes. I like when someone does anything interactive, like when me and Andrew would bring a girl on stage and make up a song about her. Shit like that's just fun times.
Sick.
You know?
Okay, I love that.
How about you? I know you want to play some fucking drums.
I want to play the drums. Yeah, that'll be the performance at the end. I'll
Word.
play the drums / dance.
Yeah.
I don't know which one I like more. I mean, I don't know which one I like more right now.
Really? You love drumming that much?
It's so similar to dancing.
Yeah.
Because you're dancing just sitting down. You're still accenting different parts of the song. You can be like, here's an interesting way that I'm hearing the music. Did you hear this backbeat in the back? Now
Yeah.
I'm doing musicality on the lyrics. Like, it's so exciting to me.
Yeah.
I also think what would you rather watch, dancing or drumming?
I was just gonna do a quick tangent because you reminded me of something.
What?
There's this dude on TikTok. I haven't followed, but his shit comes across my algorithm and it makes me laugh every time. He plays drums for it. They seem to be like a cover band at like a bar or some shit, or they'll play just different like popular rock songs. But he has a little like sound thing that has different. He plugs different sounds in there every night, and he tries to throw off his bandmates. So they have a camera on the lead singer, they're playing, it'll be like, they'll be playing like Teen Spirit or some shit, so like, and like it'll be like and the drum guy will hit the pad and it'll go boom. And that's like random shit, or it'll be like, pop your pussy like he'll throw very obscure shit, and the guy always, he's in the middle of singing some hardcore song and he'll start cracking up. It's great.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's fun stuff.
I'm excited for the possibilities that, because you know what it was? Like when I stopped performing, I was like, this is the way that I had done it was like, that is the way that it is done.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's how all of my friends were doing it. But now I'm like, you can do anything you want.
Yeah.
So it's like, why don't you do what you want?
You know what we did at a No Chaser show that I really wanted to do? It was our first No Chaser live ever a couple years ago, year and a half ago, whenever that was. And so I had a homie I knew, and we were going to end the show with a twerk contest, right?
Okay.
But I was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Y'all got, y'all excited for this twerk contest? And I had him in the audience go, I'm trying to see Chia twerk. And I was like, what? He was like, I want to see Chia twerk. I was like, come on stage, bro. Like, you gonna disrespect my wife like that?
Right.
And so I was like, and everyone's like, oh. So I took out a plastic knife, one of those fake retractable knives, and I stabbed him to death on the stage. I started stabbing him in the neck until he fell down. And I was like, how would you get, homie?
Yeah.
And then it was like a little bit.
Yeah.
But I thought, I liked just, doing silly shit like that. Because there was this Andy Kaufman live show that he did when he would do his shows and stuff.
Whoa, I can only imagine.
Where there's a thing where an old lady had like a heart attack on stage and she died on stage.
Actually?
No, it was all the bit.
Okay.
And then as part of the bit, he brings her back to life. It was like a whole thing. Everyone thought like, oh God, no, this old lady's having a heart attack. And then he
Right.
brings her back to life and it's great.
Very funny.
Yeah, shit like that.
Yeah, maybe there should be comedy in our show.
No.
Okay.
Sick of being these people's clown.
You're right. We're the clowns.
Yeah, that's what they want us to be. I don't want. Oh, you mean we should have people? Oh, we should bring comedy.
Well, I was gonna say.
No.
Okay, so let's plan this out. If we had how long is a live show? An hour?
Hour.
More?
Hour's fine.
An hour's enough.
That's all they get.
Okay, so the opening is there's an opening.
Yeah.
I want it to be a show.
Yeah.
So there's an opening show.
Okay.
I mean, like an opening piece.
You and me coming out in formal attire.
Yes, in the way that the artwork is. So it's
Oh.
got like that vintage flair.
I like that.
So it's like it's suave and classic, but a little saucy.
Okay.
Like a smidge, just like.
Okay.
And then we come out and there's some sort of performance. Maybe you're rapping and maybe I'm dancing with other dancers.
I think you and other dancers is the way to go.
Okay.
Get people hyped.
Okay, so it's
Get
like
the
a little
crowd
dance
going.
moment.
Yeah.
And what are
yeah.
you doing?
I am also there attempting to do the choreography.
Yeah, maybe I start with two dancers and then you pop out and then you dance.
Yeah.
And then it's like, because people know that I dance.
I bust out of the circle. Like
yeah. Right.
You all like launch me out there.
Well, I don't think we have the budget for that. But yeah, like a Olivia Rodrigo or like Taylor Swift, like in sync, like popping up from underneath the stage.
We could do that.
Well, that's probably not going to happen. But we could figure out a way for you to appear.
Right? Okay.
Okay, you appear, and then you do a dance, and everybody goes, wow. And then it ends, and then we're like, welcome to the first live show ever. Thanks for tipping. And then that's when the music plays.
Okay.
Our theme song.
And then it ends, and we go, hey, checking in. How the fuck are you?
Yeah. Ooh, that's interesting. Ooh, and maybe when people walk in, they write something or they have their name or something. They write their name in a jar, and then in the segments in between, then we pick out the name and they come up on stage, and then we can talk to them. There's like a guest seat, and it's like, let's talk about your problem with you.
Okay.
So we can have like follow up things.
Okay.
Sometimes you need more like, what do you think about this? Because we can just like ponder about their situations, and it's like, okay, good luck. But maybe it's like, okay, yeah, let's talk about it. Da da da.
And then if we give people in the audience tomatoes, and if the question is dumb, they can throw tomatoes at the person.
Oh my God. I don't love it, but no idea is bad. We can start there. Okay, and then we do one question, and then it's like, great. Now, well, the only thing with this is just like the energy differences.
I know.
Of like a live show and then a podcast.
I know. That's what I'm trying to figure out too.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway,
We'll figure it out.
But in between that, then some sort of something in the middle, and then us again.
Something. When you say something, what's in your mind?
It could be music.
Okay.
It could be comedy, but I feel like maybe we will be the comedy.
Yeah.
But not against it if there's like a...
I like the concept of us being kind of like ringmasters to what's going on. But do you feel like we need to work in
Right. You're right. So much.
the tipping? No, I'm saying do we actually need to answer people's questions for the show?
Well, that's the part where we sit with the people.
Right. But I'm saying, do we need that?
No.
Yeah.
We don't have to answer a single thing.
Nah.
We don't even need microphones. I mean, we need microphones, but like...
I was like, yeah, we're just gonna sit on stage.
Honestly, no. It could just be a variety show. And maybe there could be... No, literally, we don't have to do any... We can do whatever we want.
I know. We'll just like, it'll be, yeah, thanks for tipping live, but we're not gonna like answer questions.
Right. It could literally just be entertainment.
Yeah.
And then like a meet and greet and a party.
I think that's the way to go.
That's hot. I was going to say, that's epic and hot. And then I just...
That's
And then I just held my breath. Wait, I love that. I love a live podcast where you don't podcast.
No. I mean, yeah. Yeah, who the fuck?
Who cares? Because you could, no, that's so lit.
They're paying for us.
And also, exactly. Also, if we really wanted to, you could do like a pre-screening or like a after, maybe not after,
I
because
think
like...
if you want us to answer, if you want some quick advice, buy the meet and greet tickets.
Exactly.
That's what you need.
Exactly.
Come get entertained.
That's what you
and if you
need.
want a quick little our minute thoughts,
Right.
then meet and greet. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to do that. Is that crazy to want to do it this year? You do so many live shows. Like, how much work does it go into like making a live show?
It depends. You know, it depends on how much thought you want to put into it.
Me, a lot.
Well, I know that. So it depends. So we start planning now for next year's show.
Right? I'm down.
Fuck it, let's go. Yeah, I mean, we could.
Down.
I'll give you two examples of two very different shows as far as preparation and execution. All right. So for the No Chaser show, we had it was more a crowd interaction, almost like a game show situation.
Cool.
Where it was like, yeah, it was us. Hey, turn up, blah blah blah. But it was very much like I said, I had a bit where I murdered someone on stage, and then we had different games. Hey, who can beat Nikki Blades at golf? And because she likes to golf, so we had like a little thing on stage.
Oh, I love games.
Yeah, and we did like who can riz up Nikki Blades the best? Who had the best pickup line? We got, and then the winner got like a gift card to a restaurant.
Yeah.
And then the end was like a big twerk contest. You know what I'm saying? So it was all kind of us. Just being like, hey guys, let's interact, let's have fun. Me and David, no preparation whatsoever, because that's how we prefer to do things when we do our shit. And where it's like, all right guys, we're literally just gonna sit up here and drink and dick around on stage.
Cool.
If you got questions, if you got shit you want to say, shout it out. Let's talk.
Yeah.
And we did a thing where, you know, because we do eat on the podcast.
Yeah.
I had Howlin' Ray's bring some spicy chicken sandwiches, and we're like, who's down to try the fucking spicy chicken sandwiches? And then
It's under your chair. That'd be sick. Like
you get a chair. You get a chair. Not even a sandwich. Take your chair home. Oh, you don't get sandwiches. Take the chair.
Wait, that's kind of better. The chair's gonna last way longer.
Yeah, true. So it was like just very different for me and David. We just got drunk, talked shit.
Cool.
And then for No Chaser, it was more like, this is a game show.
I like that.
So.
Oh, that's great. Because also for listeners of all of your podcasts, and they get different things. Because
Yeah.
with ours, and you'll get
Variety.
music and dance and variety.
The
and
whole ting.
the whole thing, brother.
Yeah.
Lit.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's
Wow.
fucking do it.
Well, other than that, checking in.
Checking in.
Checking in.
Hey, I'm gonna check in with you first. How are you?
Ooh.
Checking in.
You know, I came across this TikTok that all of my sentences start with this. I came across this TikTok and they were like, I ask everyone to like skip over small talk. They ask high, low, buffalo.
Okay.
And it's like, what is the high thing that, like a high, like a good thing that happened to you this week? Low is what's something not so good.
Okay.
And buffalo was like, that was interesting. So let's do high, low, buffalo
Okay.
for our check-in today.
Okay. You go first.
okay.
High, low,
The
buffalo.
The high of my week, maybe, man, well, I had a great birthday.
Lit.
I had a great birthday with great people, and it was nice to host. I think I really like hosting like in my Martha Stewart era.
Okay.
Like it was high tea, so I made these like little finger sandwiches of Nutella and strawberries.
Delish.
With Hawaiian bread, sliced bread. Hawaiian rolls
they do
make
that.
sliced bread now.
They do hot dog buns too. Yeah.
They are
thumbnail, Robin.
I can make my tongue so small. Look, you see this?
What?
If you're not watching, why?
Is my tongue small?
Not as small as mine.
Yeah. That's a sharp. Oh, you're making it real sharp. Yeah. Oh, okay. I see the contrast
The
now.
range.
That just reminded me of Workaholics. You ever watch Workaholics?
Yeah.
Pilot, like first episode, it opens up, and this is when I was hooked on that shit. Like who make the smallest face? Who's make the smallest face right now? They're just doing that.
I would love to have just like a trio of people like Workaholics. Like my dream is always to have like a small group of friends. Workaholics, Sex in the City. Like I like the idea of like 3 or 4, just tight knit.
You can do it. What's stopping you?
Yeah, no, well that's the thing. Going back to hosting, I think I want to like have more girls' nights, have more. Like have my crew be like, now we're gonna do a movie night, now we're gonna do a craft night, now we're gonna do this. I love the idea of strengthening my community.
Look, people that know me know that I literally my starting lineup of homies is just 3 people. Ricky Shucks,
Yep.
Super Ego, PD Flow,
Yeah.
and then now 6 man probably David So, who I spend more time with than anyone else because
Yeah.
we work together so much. But
Right.
just who got time for anyone else? You know,
It's so nice.
Hello.
The low of my week, probably being incompatible with somebody that I think is nice.
Watch previous episode if you don't know what she's talking about.
Exactly.
And your buffalo?
And my buffalo, something interesting that happened this week, something unexpected and interesting. You know, I don't know if I had a buffalo. It's been pretty chill.
Okay. Good.
Pretty chill.
All right.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I don't think I was surprised this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
What about you? High, low, buffalo.
Hi, low Buffalo. Hi. I had a great trip to Toronto with Chia and her fam. And I also got to link up with some Toronto mandem.
Cool.
Yeah, like, going to Toronto with Chia's family. It was such a quick trip. I didn't know if I was gonna have time to really link with like my Toronto homies. I feel like outside of LA, Toronto and New York are where I have like just real friends outside of LA. So like, and it was all kind of really the universe kind of lined up because my Toronto friends, a lot of them don't live in Toronto anymore. Like specifically Russell, aka D Pride, he travels so much with doing his music and shit. Like he's just in the Philippines. But I texted him, I'm like, yo, what's good? Are you in town? He's like, yeah, dude, actually I am. So
Is that how he talks?
like, oh yeah, he's like, oh man, dude, bro, it was so crazy. And when I went to the Manila, cause like, oh man, that's how he talks.
Okay.
And then Trey and Jay, my homies from Toronto, they were living in Florida for the longest time, but they're back home right now, just like for the whatever season. So
Yeah.
they were also in town. So I had a spare day where I was like, yo, let's link up. Let's reach, fam. Yo, are you reaching, fam?
What does that mean?
Oh, that's Toronto slang.
Or?
Reach means like just pull up, come through, like pull up. Reaching, I'd be so cheesed if you don't reach, fam. So
Cool.
so Russell met up with me at the Nike factory, the outlet, and then we all got together, got wings, and it was nice even for an hour to just like touch base with the homies.
Yeah.
And so that was the high, and plus just great time with Chia and her family. Everyone's really nice, homemade pupusas and shit. And
What is a pupusa?
pupusa is it's like a little flat doughy situation, not dough. If you could imagine just like a puffy tortilla with either cheese or meat inside, or sometimes they do like a corn
I
pupusa.
see. Yum.
It's one of these situations. And it was great. But it's like a Salvadorian specialty.
Has anyone ever made a pupusa sandwich where you use those as the bread and then put something else in the middle?
I'm sure you could.
I
Yeah, do it.
will.
And I'm so glad because they handed me the pupusa and I was ready to eat it. And I was like, can I get like because I just washed my hands. I was like, can I get like a fork? And they were like, wow, you gonna eat it with a fork? And I was like, no, fuck it. I don't need it. They're like, no, Tim, we'll get you a fork. I was like, no. Tell me how to do it the real way. If that's how y'all do it, that's how I'm gonna do it. So I was eating my pupusa, took a picture, of course, put it in my little dump of Toronto, and someone was like, whoa, Tim's eating pupusas and he's not using a fork. Good job.
Oh, they saved you.
I was like, phew, I was about to get dragged. So, that was the high. Great Toronto trip. Friends, family. It was great.
Great.
Low. First night in Toronto. Veyda's bouncing around the Airbnb, and literally first night we're settling in. She like kind of like slipped off the couch of the Airbnb, banged her lip on the little coffee table, bleeding.
Oh no!
It looked bad at first. It looked like a bad cut. Like she was like, she was like, I think she's gonna have to get stitches. I was like, relax.
Yeah.
And it was fine. And, you know, it healed up great, but you can't even tell now. But
yeah, that
was like, oh my baby.
Yeah.
And then that day before we left for the flight, fucking Q was running around our house. And I guess I forgot how tall he was already, but he like ran into our kitchen, our dining room table. He has like a little like blackish eye now. It was literally running with punk, and fell down. Yeah, it was one of those days, man, where we got home. A lot of technology shit was fucking up too. I got home to the Airbnb in Toronto and I was like, is Mercury in the microwave right now?
Yeah,
Is this shit?
It probably was.
It was.
Oh, you checked?
I checked immediately.
You're like, shit is not well.
I was like, shit is not
Mercury?
Working. This shit is reggaetoning right now. And I checked and Mercury was reggaeton. I was like,
reggaeton.
But that was the low, just a rough first day, but the rest of the trip was great.
Cool.
And then as far as the Buffalo exchange goes.
I'm a little Buffalo.
Buffalo.
A little something unexpected.
You know what? Okay, here we go. I wouldn't say that this is weird, but I linked up with, because I've been trying to promote my brandy.
Yeah.
So I've been hitting up all my like food influencer homies. Mm-hmm. And are you familiar with Josh Elkin?
No.
Josh makes food. He used to be with Epic Mealtime, and now he does his own like cooking videos, like just whatever weird idea he has, he throws them together. So I hit him up. I was like, hey, bro, can we make some type of, what can you do with brandy, right? He's like, how about we make a sauce and we make ribs? I was like, fire, bro, whatever you want to do. And I'm saying this is weird, not in a bad way, just weird in the sense of like, not flavors you would think, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, you're Thai, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do something Thai. I pull up to his crib and he's like, bro, these ribs, he made like a Thai inspired barbecue sauce where he put like lemongrass and Thai chilies and oyster sauce and fish sauce and soy, and it's so fucking good. I ate these ribs and I was like,
okay.
Lord have mercy. I was gonna bring you some, I forgot.
Well, thanks. It's the thought that counts, is it? I think no.
No, in this situation, no.
I think the thought never counts.
Because I was hyping these shits up too, and I was on my way. I was like, made my way at the house. I was like, hey, Batoon, do you want coffee? Oh, also, I forgot your ribs.
It's like, great.
Yeah, but
losing something I didn't have.
Yeah. And you're missing out because it's so good.
I bet.
Because I texted you, I was like, do you eat pork by any chance?
And I was kind of offended because you asked that. I haven't talked as how much I love pork.
Oh, okay.
But I have mentioned that is one of the things about dating Jewish people that I'm like, I love pork so much. I'm Filipino. It's literally like 90% of my body.
You have mentioned that. Yeah.
I love pork.
I think most of our history together is eating steak together, so
That's
I wasn't sure about your pork history. Because, especially people nowadays, motherfuckers trying to be healthy and shit. So it's like, I don't do the swine, but the swine is fine in mine.
Dr. Seuss? I did not know that we had you as a guest today.
Yeah, swines and swogglers. But yeah, so it's fucking bomb.
But what's the weird part? Oh, the weird is just the flavors being different?
Yeah, the weird is just like, it's an unfamiliar, just a situation I haven't seen before, like Thai barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
But that would be, I guess, the weird.
I know. The word weird is so loaded because I don't think weird is bad.
I
agree.
And
I think I used to think that because people had this connotation of like, she's weird. but the more weird I am, the more myself I am.
And-
I like being weird.
I've preached loving my weird for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's the thing. When you realize how lame normal is, that's when you realize like, oh, weird is really the way to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I definitely got told a lot like, oh, you're weird. You're weird, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's so great.
People are really surprised, like people that I just meet are very surprised at how weird I am. Because it takes like, especially if I'm meeting you in person,
Yeah.
like there's like a little bit of da-da-da-da, but like I was on a date with this guy who's like, you're so hot and weird. And I was like,
But that's such a plus, to meet a hot, weird girl.
imagine just being hot, boring.
So boring.
Actually.
Okay, no, like literally, no joke. When you can meet a girl who's genuinely weird, like not like, oh man, I'm so weird. Meh.
Yeah.
Then it's like, ugh. But a genuinely weird, quirky, hot girl is like, yo, you are a unicorn. I love you so much. And that's the thing, Batoon, for people like, for hot people like us,
Okay.
people are thrown off by the weirdness. Like even David, right? David, of course we've gotten to know each other from doing Send Foods and doing the food shows and just having more conversations just through the podcast. But he's always like, dude, you're so weird.
Yeah. That's the best.
I know, and I didn't even know that I was. Someone told me a long time ago that I didn't realize that I was actually kind of like awkward too.
Oh.
In certain situations.
I have not seen that side of you, I don't think.
I think-
unless it's on purpose to be awkward as a joke.
Right. I think it's not even something you notice unless you're really paying attention. Because I was with a homegirl. I was with Erin Paula in New York. We were all there doing a show in New York, and we just got some lunch. And I was like talking to the server or something, and she was watching. She's like, "Oh my God, you're so awkward." And I was like, "What are you saying?" And then then the more she pointed out to me, I think the more it kind of like elevated it. And then she was just there cracking up. And I was like, "Oh wow, you're kind of right." But it's like,
That's fun.
I know, but people that you don't really expect that because I'm like a smooth quote unquote guy, but
Yeah.
I can be a little awkward, and I think the people that like know me are like, oh yeah,
For sure. I get that.
And I've also been told. Let me ask you this: what are people's usual like first impression of you?
I think I'm bubbly and inviting.
Okay.
Yeah, I think those are the things that come right away. And then the more you talk to me, then the more you're like, oh, she's definitely neurodivergent. There's definitely something going on. But yeah, I think it's generally like, oh, wow, like high energy. Yeah, I get bubbly a lot.
Do you have like if fans saw you on the street, what would they see your face doing?
That's a fun question. It depends on what street. Do I have my headphones on? Am I like blasting Hamilton on the streets of New York? Or am I going to Trader Joe's?
Right. Let's say Trader Joe's.
Okay, well, I probably will just be like pretty like straight-faced, getting flowers, minding my own business, not making any eye contact with anybody.
Okay, word.
But then as soon as somebody is like, if they said hi to me, even if fan or cashier, then I'll just like now I'm engaging with
bubbling.
you. But
Yeah.
otherwise, I am not engaging. It's like on or off.
Yeah, same. Because I've been told I have a resting like mean face.
Really?
Like not even like a bitch. Like I've been told from people like, yo, I wanted to talk to you, but man, you're kind of intimidating in real life. Or
Yeah.
like people, oh, you look like you're in a rush. You look like you were like, I'm like, oh, I'm just chill. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
So I kind of have been more aware of trying to relax my face when I'm chilling, because I feel like and even in high school actually, the wrestling coach wanted me to join wrestling because he's like, you look mean. When I was just walking around, because I didn't have friends yet my sophomore year, so I was just kind of, I didn't want to look like a bitch, so yeah, I'm like,
Right.
I'm walking around, I didn't want to like look like a punk,
Yeah.
but I also didn't know I was looking mean,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I know. That's how I feel like when I'm walking by myself at night, I change the way I walk.
Yeah.
Because if I'm like, I try to look as ugly as possible
Yeah, I feel
in
it.
just the way that I carry myself, that I'm like, nobody's gonna touch me or like come up to me, and I like just like will walk with a hunch and like turn my face to be like really like.
But they're like, sweet tits, hunchback. Hey, mean face, you wanna fuck?
Yeah. I guess it really is not helping anything. Oh, dearest.
But yeah, I guess that's as weird as my week got. Just having interesting flavors and weird in a great way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, weird is what makes the world go round.
I think so.
But what should make the world go round?
Yeah, I try to tell. I mean, I don't. We haven't gotten there yet, but I do want to make sure that my babies, especially my daughter, like, hey, just so you know, someone calls you weird, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That just means they don't know how to handle what you got going on. You know. So tell your little 4-year-old friends to shut the fuck up.
Does she have a crush yet?
Batoon.
I know you mentioned a couple months ago, you were like, there's flirting.
There's a boy that she met back in daycare before she went to official preschool, and long story short, I picked her up one day, and the daycare teachers were like, Daddy, we need to tell you.
I love the daycare teachers calling you daddy.
Yeah, they're like, Daddy, Dad. Maybe it wasn't Daddy, maybe it was Dad.
Yeah, I would feel like maybe
Dad.
it shouldn't be daddy.
Papi?
Hey, papi.
Ben, papi.
Papi.
They were like, Dad, we need to talk to you about something. So look at this. And it was a picture of her and this little boy in her class. And he's like kissing her on the cheek. And like, she's like, they are always together. And then we got home and I was like, Veyda, so this boy, like, well, who's this boy? She's like, my boyfriend. I was like, oh, it's your boyfriend? And I thought maybe she was just saying that as like she calls all her little friends her boyfriends. And I was like, and what does that make? What are you for him? She's like, his girlfriend. I was like, oh, because I've never even said that word to her, And so Chia told me one time when she went to go pick up Veyda that also that boy's dad was there, so they're just kind of talking, and so of course like now the kids are just kind of there together, and they're like hugging and kissing each other on the cheek, and then and the teachers kind of and the teacher came up, she's like, yeah, not gonna lie, we kind of have to like, when they're both here, we have to tell them to like stop like kissing each other so much and stop like because they'll hold hands.
Is it still like that?
Well, now that she started her official preschool, they don't see each other like that.
Okay.
But his parents are great, and so we try to get them together for play dates and stuff.
Cute.
Because she does ask. She's like, oh, I miss him, and like, when do I get to play with him again? So they do kind of have this connection. You feel me?
Oh my gosh, that's cute.
Yeah, super cute.
Okay, connection.
I mean, and it's not crazy. I mean, I had a girl I had a super crush on when I was in preschool, 3.5.
Yeah.
Danielle, I remember her to this day, even though, she was just with all the boys.
I mean, when you're 3.5, you gotta
Explore
seize
your
the day.
options. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah. Megan Batoon, this day, I remember one time I brought Danielle a flower. She kissed me on the cheek, okay? And I was like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And then
brother.
later that day, she was sitting on the slide, getting him a back rub from Jonathan Sabato.
Why was it always like that? Because I was Danielle. Like, I remember I was in like the 5th grade, same thing. I was like dating this guy, Ryan, during whatever homeroom was. And then they would take, were you in the gifted program?
I was in the program. It's like we get on a shorter bus, and no, just kidding.
Yeah. So they actually, speaking of a bus, they would take us to a different school.
Okay.
Like this gifted program, they would take us to a different school for half of the day, and then we would like do things, play these like mind
I
games.
picture you making things levitate.
Honestly, there's something going on.
Huh.
There's something going on.
Okay.
But anyway, we would go, the gifted people would go, and during the gifted room, or the gifted field trip, essentially, then I would like break up with Ryan, and now when I would come back to the school, now I'd be with Max.
You Danielles of the world.
No, but it was like, that's what it was when we were young.
I know. It's kind of like, okay, you're my boyfriend today, and tomorrow, okay,
Right.
I'm breaking up with you now.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Especially little Danielles. I remember Danielle, she used to do this thing where, and mind you, this was preschool. she would be like, because all the boys liked her. Like she was that bitch, right?
Okay, Danielle.
So I remember specifically her being like, okay, so pretend you guys are the new kids on the block and you followed me home from a concert, like shit like that. I don't know why these memories are burned into my brain. And it's actually a trip now that I think about it, the fact that like, because this is when I was 3 and Veyda's 4. So memories that she's making now, so literally she could potentially remember for the rest of her life.
Holy
it's
moly.
crazy to think about.
Whoa.
Whatever. Let's answer some questions.
Let's answer Q. What do we got? Ooh.
This one says, emotionally unavailable.
Aren't we all? Yeah, rip it up. Rip it up. Hey, step up 3, Adam Savani.
Moose! Mouse! Meese!
Hello?
Hi Tim, hi Megan. Long-time fans of the both of you. So what I need help on is tips on how I can actively move away from being into or pursuing people who are always going to be emotionally unavailable.
I feel like I need like 9 more deep breaths because I feel like this is just what modern dating is. You don't have this experience, but over here, we're battered and broken. And also, I feel like there's a part of me that might be emotionally unavailable, but I think the question, what is interesting about like how I'm approaching dating now, I'm like, dating is data gathering of this person, not only this person, but myself. So it's like, in this scenario, if I were him, to be like, oh, I'm sensing a pattern that I always am going for people that are emotionally unavailable. Instead of pointing the finger, it's like, what does that say about me?
Right. What is the common denominator?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why am I interested? What is enticing to me about somebody that is emotionally unavailable? And through the work that I've done in therapy and ChatGPT, is I think that when we go for emotionally unavailable people, it's either because there's some sort of block with intimacy where we might be afraid of something, but at the same time, to be chosen by somebody that is unavailable, that inherently or in turn means that we are worth it because they don't have the capacity to choose you, but then when they do choose you, then it's like, yes.
So you think like potentially the problem is he's like subconsciously going after people that he knows are emotionally unavailable because he enjoys like the potential chance that he will be the one that gets chosen?
Maybe. I mean, that might be an element of it because like I don't know what your experience is with meeting people and what level of available they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think when it's that thing like forbidden fruit, when people are not available, it makes it sexier.
You know what? Yeah, no, I completely understand that, especially as someone who, when I was dating, I loved chase.
Well, that's part of it. That's like the whole pursuit. Yeah, the men love a chase. If it's too easy, then it's not interesting.
Right.
And you want it's cat and mouse. You want to see if you can get it. It's like, again, it's like little dopamine spikes when you're like, yeah, I got a little bite of it.
Yeah, for sure. When you think like, oh, okay, well, at first she wasn't feeling me, but now she's sending me winky face emojis.
Right.
Also, a part of me with this guy thinks that like, what if he is dating women who are emotionally available, and then after the date they're like, you know what, I don't think I'm ready for a boyfriend because he's a loser. Just kidding. Look, man, I think that's okay, especially for early stage shit like this. Like, you don't know these people. Why go out of your way to hurt their feelings? You know, lie to me a little bit.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, like look. And I think nowadays the way shit is set up. Let's say if I was trying to holler at somebody, and I was like, "Hey, you know what? Let's go on a date." And instead of her being like, "You know, I'm just not attracted to you," she was like, "You know, I'm not really like ready to date right now mentally." I'd be like, "I get it." I'm like, "Cool," and I would move on. You know, because I feel like if if she feels like she doesn't want to tell me that she don't think I'm cute,
Right.
I think the coded message is that I don't want to.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
It's like there's a saying that's like, when people are like, I'm not ready for a relationship, or I don't want to be in a relationship, in silence, it's with you.
Right.
So I'm like, regardless if you don't want to be in a relationship at all, or if you don't want to be in a relationship with me, the end result is the same, and that's fine.
Unless you're okay with being strung along a little bit.
Which I'm not. I don't want that.
What if a guy was straight up like, look, you are wifey material, but I just need to be single and just fuck around for like a year.
I've heard that.
And what did you do?
I said, okay, have fun.
And?
Catch you maybe on the other side.
Okay. And so he was like, all right, maybe. We'll see what happens, right?
Yeah.
Did he? Did you see him on the other side after the year?
No, I don't know if it's been a year yet, but I'm doing my own thing.
You're doing your own thing, and that's the risk you take.
And I also think this is something interesting in energetics, but like there is something where as soon as if I'm thinking about someone a lot, which happens frequently.
Okay.
If I'm always thinking about them, and I realize I'm like, they're taking up so much of my brain space and distracting me from what I'm doing, what I want to do, my goals, my whatever. I'm just like, are they going to text me? Taking my power and energy back into like, anytime I start thinking about somebody too much, I'm like, okay, instead of thinking about them, how can I think about, it sounds weird, but like, how can I think about myself in this arena?
Yeah.
Of like, if I'm thinking about them, of when they're gonna text me, it's like, oh, what can I do for myself right now where I feel valued and can get some dopamine? Because that's really what I want.
That's what you're addicted to, Batoon. Because look, you know what I'm learning now through these podcasts? Let's break you down real quick.
Break it down now.
Because you said, you said you are a quick to get sprung ass girl. Like,
Yeah, I really am, and I wish it wasn't so.
you know what? And I that's just how you work. I think you see something that, man, you see something with some potential and you get fixated on it, just like when you flipped that Airbnb.
Exactly.
Fucking moved to the desert for a year and worked on this Airbnb.
Right.
And that's what you're doing in your dating life.
I know, but here's the thing: I can't be signing up for potential and or projects.
Yeah, I know.
It's partnership right now, and so even though I see potential in people, it's like, well, the reality of right now is that they are not partnership material, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And so I have to like digest that and be like, okay, that could have been something, but it's not.
Yeah, and maybe they weren't even that great. Maybe just the fact that you like were so just like, ooh, in love with the idea of this person,
Right.
that you let yourself get wrapped up in it.
Right.
Yeah,
And I think that is common.
Yeah.
I think that's very common.
Especially in the beginning.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
They say a crush is just a lack of information. And I like that.
That's fire. Yeah. I mean,
Because you're like filling in everything that you don't know, which is the majority, because this person is putting their best fet? Wait, what is a fet? Boba Fett? What is that?
Boba Fett is a Star Wars character. He was an assassin, I think, or like a...
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, best foot forward. Just little lessons along the way. Best foot forward, and yeah, you only get to see them for however long you're with them, but people could have like an entire, even like this guy that I've been seeing, like does not know how I spend the majority of my time, doesn't know a lot about me.
Yeah.
He just knows that I'm like fun and weird.
And that's the honeymoon stage, is like figuring each other out. And then honeymoon stage either ends when you realize, oh, I don't like what I found out, or it turns into something real, because you're like, okay, I can deal with the things that I've found out.
Yes. Yeah.
There's like an episode of Rick and Morty where he says like something like, love is just comfortability plus time. You know what I'm saying? Where now you're comfortable with this person, you realize like I can spend my time with this person and not be annoyed, and you know what? My feelings are more because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, comfortable is a really important thing.
Did we help this person at all?
Yes.
Okay.
What was the question?
Who cares?
Who cares? Just have a good time. Just rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts.
Please. Oh, okay. This is called the Situationship SOS.
Oh, jeez. The fact that that's even a word, like, I hate that for us.
But you love putting words together.
Oh,
and
I
making
like the
new
portmanteau of it. I hate the fact that it exists. Even better than the first time.
I know. Learn from my mistakes.
I love that.
As a 30-something-year-old single girl in today's dating climate, and I know I'm not alone, I feel like we only see the men after one thing.
A
You
good
know,
time.
physical or situationships, and that's about it. Is there advice, or should we just collectively stop dating?
That part.
Great.
I think collectively start dating. Stop.
Stop dating. Well, what would you do, Megan? I'm gonna be real here. Like, I think I've said this before. If for some reason I wasn't married anymore,
Yeah.
I'm out there just trying to smash,
Yeah.
buddy.
Tell me more about that, because that is how it's feeling to me and her.
Yeah, I just, you know, at this juncture of my life where I've put in so much time, especially time and effort into this relationship and this marriage, if I was to be single again, the goal for me would not be to find a stepmom for my kids
Right.
and find a new wife.
Well, what if, yeah, I mean, that's the right now.
Yeah.
But what if you didn't have kids or a wife and you were the age that you are now,
Okay.
and you hadn't put all of this, you had not built a future with somebody.
Okay.
And you're in your 30s and you are dating. Would
Okay.
you still feel the same way, or would you maybe be looking for a long-term partner?
Let's take kids out of the equation.
Yes.
If I had been married for 8 years like I am now and all of a sudden I'm divorced, I'm for sure, give me a good year or two to hoe out. 100%. I'm on all the dating apps. I'm on fucking Grindr. Just kidding. I'm talking about all the dating apps.
All of them.
I'm on Christian Mingle. I'm on Meet Amish. I'm on Black People Meet. I'm on Farmer Fetish.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm on all that shit, okay? I'm fucking collecting all my
Right.
Thanos rings, okay? Because I've been married and I've been just, committed.
Yeah.
But it's like, if I'm single now, I'm like, I need to sow some oats, all right? Re-sow some oats.
And why?
Because it's like, I don't know. I mean, this is like not a good metaphor because look, I love the meal I've been eating every day for the past 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were eating the same meal every day for the past 8 years and all of a sudden you were allowed to explore the entire menu,
Right.
why wouldn't you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it's a good metaphor.
Yeah. But I hate referring to Chia as like a played out meal because she's not that. It's a meal that builds every day, even though it's the same ingredients. Okay.
It's like a slow cooker.
Yeah, and it's ages with tastes better over time.
It ages well.
It ages well. Thank you.
Yeah.
The moldier it gets, the tastier it gets. Okay.
Hey, that's cheese.
Cheese, yeah, and which I love, which I don't
Who
eat anymore.
doesn't?
But
Yeah.
so yeah, but would I be against eventually getting into another relationship? That is not on me. Where I'm at mentally after I hoe out, it would be like finding another person that would make me want to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think everybody wants to fucking just have fun until they find somebody that's makes it worth it to be done with that life. You know?
Right. Yeah.
And that for me, that regardless of age. If I was single again, divorcee, got my chance to hoe out for, I don't know, give me 6 months to a year, and then all of a sudden met somebody who I was like, oh my god, this connection is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it just in ways that I haven't felt in a long time. Yeah, I'd be down to commit again.
Right.
For sure.
What's interesting to me about this of people in situationships, I read something that was like, if you're in a situationship, it's because the both of you don't like you enough. And I was like, that sucks. Because I have been in those situations, and I think that there is an element of that being true. I feel like when I didn't like myself enough, I allowed this connection to be there without being like, no, I don't want if I can't be in a committed relationship and build something with you because I do see something, then you don't get any of it.
Oh, you're saying because like you deserve more, but you were letting yourself deal with the situationship.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's what situationships ultimately end up being, because otherwise, unless people are emotionally unavailable and can't get over their own blocking and aren't working on that, because of course, like even if you wanted to work on it, you could work through it and be like, this is how I feel. If we get into this relationship, I will need X, Y, and Z. But like, if you haven't done any work on yourself and you don't care and you want to fuck around and you don't like this person, then they're gonna do that to everyone they can.
Let me ask you this, Meg Batoon.
So
you've been on dating apps.
True.
So I think, wouldn't it be easier nowadays if you are a 30-something like this woman who is looking for a real commitment to put it like point blank in your dating profile, I'm looking for a real commitment, and find the people who are like on the same wave?
Yeah, you could. You could.
Because I feel like technology, even though people hate dating apps, I think if that's where you're at mentally and you're trying to find somebody who's also there, does that make it easier?
Yeah, I think it really depends on the app that you choose as well. Like, I feel like there's some apps that are a little bit more casual and then some that are more like even Hinge. In order to have a Hinge profile, you have to like answer a lot of questions.
I see.
Whereas if you're on Raya, it's literally just, here are some photos and my Instagram handle. So people are just like, it's literally like, we're just here to be here. Yeah. Whereas it feels like, my experience with Hinge is like, when I hear people be like, oh, we met on Hinge and now we're married, it's like the app to be deleted because it's like people are looking for something a little bit more serious in dating there.
What's the one where you don't match with someone unless you have like 2 or 3 mutual friends already?
Oh, I don't know, but that sounds fun.
I think it's like, it might be Coffee Meets Bagel. It might just be in my head because I did like a brand deal with them.
I see.
But there's one of those apps where you don't match. It's like you're matched from a mutual friend. I
like that
standpoint.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, here's the other thing.
I see your brain going.
Because I'm like, in my experience, what I've heard from men in these like situationship dynamics, whether I'm gonna call it that or not, some of them were and weren't, but like there was one guy that had never dated anybody. I mean, had dated people, but was never in like a committed relationship. Yeah. And has been so okay because he has his own like group of friends, his constant collaborators, where he didn't really need like a partner.
Okay.
And that was interesting because it's grounds for a situationship, because open to a good time, but not, pushing for anything, because all of his boxes were checked in other ways of like being fulfilled with people. So what do you think about that? That's an interesting like.
Well, I'll tell you this. When I met Chia, I was very much a boy who was like, I love myself. I'm grinding. I don't want a girlfriend. And for me, when I met her, she was just somebody that was like just so different than any other girl I'd dealt with. And I felt like I need to stop dicking around, because if I lose this opportunity, I'm gonna like regret it forever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure it's like different for everybody, where maybe someone else met Chia and like, I don't know, like, I mean, she's dated people before me and they didn't work out for whatever reason. So for me and her, I was like, I need to lock this down.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until we got in the relationship where I learned, oh, I do need this person, because, even though my boxes for my own life are checked and I'm handling my own business, she really did balance me out in ways that I needed to be balanced. You feel me? Where like you said, it's like I'm fulfilled as a person, but she's improving and she's helping me build. You know what I'm saying?
And you didn't know that until after you committed to each other in dating, or did you see that in the early stages of dating, where you're like, oh, I can see how she could balance me out?
You know what? It was definitely something more that I saw through the relationship.
Interesting.
Because for me, it was like, I'm locking her down because she's just dope. And she's like just mentally just someone I've just have never experienced before, and just the way she thinks and lives her own life. And then when we really started coming together and just and like how we live, because we, like I've said before, we do function in very different ways. I'm like, oh, but this is helpful for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm very much all over the place, and she is like grounded, organized, and she really helps me in that way.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of things where I do. I'm like, nah, this is how I like to do my shit. But you know, sometimes I'm like, all right, let me let her make me better.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So
That's interesting. I think I have a tough time like jumping into relationships. So I'm thinking about, even from a situationship perspective, like when do you think that people should make it official?
shit, man. That's on you.
Yeah, but how do you know what is important? Like how long, Tim,
Yeah.
is too long to be talking to someone without a label? As a man, as you love to say, as a man, when is too long?
Without a label?
Yeah. Because I've seen things like, oh, the 3-month rule, the 2-week this, like there's always like an amount of time. When can somebody who finds themselves in a situationship, when can they expect to hit this mark and then know that this is not going anywhere?
I don't know, man. Like, I will default on that depends on the person.
Okay.
Because there are people that would say like, oh, a man will know in the first 2 weeks if he wants to make you his girlfriend, if he wants to commit to you or not. And I don't agree with that at all.
Okay.
I think
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Say more.
I think that you know, I think dating exists for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And whatever your list of things might be, or what you're looking for in a partner, it's different for everybody. For me, you know, look, I'm in a boat where I was with somebody for 4 years, and we talked about this. Where and through that process, I knew I wasn't gonna marry this person, but I was still in the relationship.
Yeah.
And so I think, you know, when you're in that first stage of like getting to know somebody, and you're just going on these dates, and you're talking about dreams and death and zodiac signs and shit, it's like it's all just fun and games. You know, I mean,
Fun and games.
you kind of get to a point where you do start to question, how would I feel if this person wasn't in my life anymore? You know, if this stopped, like with Chia, where I was like, I mean, we're long distance, so I feel like the whole thing stretches out a little more, but where I got to a point where if she no longer wanted to deal with me, I would be like, I regret this so much. So I was like, I need to make her my girlfriend.
I really like that as a litmus test to keeping somebody around if you're unsure, or even just like thinking about, if they weren't in my life, would it be better or worse?
Yeah.
Whether it's romantic or platonic, like that's kind of a nice thing to always go back on and be like, how do I feel about this connection, and how is it affecting my life?
For sure.
Hell yeah.
You know, you gotta ask yourself that at a certain point. Okay, especially when, you know, I mean, girls get a little antsy. And what are we doing here?
I know. How does that feel when people say that as a man? Like, does that shrink your dick or what?
Yeah. It can.
It seems to be the worst thing, that it's like saying Voldemort. Like, it feels like something that you should never do.
I mean, it really depends on the vibes too. Like, if I'm really getting along with somebody and we're hooking up and we're having a great time, and I'm mentally like, and I haven't told myself, okay, yeah, I want to make this girl my girlfriend, but yes, I'm open to it. If she asks a question, hey, like, where's this going? I'm not like,
You're like, to the bed, baby.
yeah. Shut up and take your pants off, bitch. I'm not like, oh, this has completely turned me off. Now I need to run away.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let's have this conversation. I don't mind, because I do like this person and I do see it going somewhere. But if I'm mentally, I just want to have fun, and I don't And I wasn't even thinking about that. And now she's like, what are we? I'm like, oh, now it's getting complicated.
It sucks that guys don't even think about that until we bring it up. Because it's like, understand, and having fun, completely fine. But I think even, I wonder if it would be better to like have that conversation before anything ever happens. But then it's kind of like fucking up the vibe.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Especially, I mean, you're learning each other. But I will tell you this, and this is going to contradict what I said earlier, where I said, you know, I disagree with people saying, oh, a guy knows who he's going to commit to in the first week or whatever.
Yeah.
Because, okay, I'm not going to lie. When me and Chia first like spent the night together, and mind you, we had been communicating long distance for like just chatting on like through text and shit for months before we actually hung out. Maybe even like a year, just messaging, and because she was in Canada, you know, just communicating
Every day?
we were messaging pretty often, yeah. And before we finally like hung out and hooked up, I texted Rick immediately. I was like, I'm in love.
Well, because you were developing this connection over text.
But yeah, with that being said, we had developed the connection, and then the physical connection was also legit. And I was like, I love her. You know.
Did you talk on the phone or was it just texting?
It was like phone conversations and like Skyping and.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe it doesn't contradict what I said earlier, because yeah, we had established a real connection, and then we had the physical connection. We hung out, and I was like, oh, this is good stuff.
This is good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. I like that. I'm noting it.
Well, I hoped we could help in some way.
I think we did.
I think so. I think that at the end of the day, we're always kind of like, well, we're working through our own shit as well, and you know, hopefully y'all can get some shit out of this. You know,
100p. We're all in this together.
We're all in this together. Megan, thank you for tipping.
Thank you for tipping. The way that you said that.
Thank you for tipping, Megan
thanks for tipping.
McMahon, and thank you for watching, all you crazy kids out there and in the internet land.
In the internet land, where we all will exist forever, even after we die.
I podcast so much. Not a constant fear, because I know it's a reality, is that like, it'd be so easy to recreate an AI of me, my personality, because I literally have hours and hours and hours of me talking, joking, thinking.
Oh, shit. That's one, scary, and also two, less work for you. So if you're like, okay, AI podcast, and then you could still like get.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, I want to go to Hawaii for a week, but I need an episode. Oh, AI, create an episode where Tim talks to Leonardo DiCaprio for an hour.
Oh my God. Guys, thank you for watching. Send us a voice memo if you want to be on the next episode, and we will check in then.
Hi, low Buffalo.
Woo! He made it in. LeBron!
Kobe.